Hello and welcome to the One People Show.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Welcome to the One People Roundtable for this week with myself and Danny over there.
Yes. Hello, darlings. I'm more awake than she is, and I've been told I must talk quietly. I will. Not for very long. We know that that rule will go out the window really quick.
Yeah, it will. Okay, so interesting week it's been. Has it not?
I don't even. We're having another one of those where it's like, sorry?
You're actually speechless for a moment.
I was just like, I don't even know where to start. Like, I don't know. There's giant snowballs washing up on the shore of Siberia, and tornado ripped through Rome. I don't know if you saw that, Lise.
Oh yeah, I did.
And the video footage of the tornado ripping through Rome is pretty freaking impressive, let me tell you. I watched several videos of that. There's a new experiment ongoing in CERN right now. Now, BP Earthwatch said it started today. I've looked to try and find for sure where it says that the experiment started today, and I haven't been able to find this as an exact date. I have found end of 2016 is when this Awake, and the experiment is called the Awake Project. And guess where they're firing fucking neutrinos to? Oh, right, Italy, right where all the earthquakes are, which we talked about last week.
You know, instead of the statue of whoever they've got at the front, can't remember which goddess it is, they should just have a big finger. Because that's what they're doing. It's like,
fuck you to everyone. We're going to do what the hell we want. You don't like it?
Oh, yeah. Shiva, yeah.
So this new experiment, and now I will say this, going back at what BP Earthwatch said, while I cannot find anything in print, and I only looked for about 10, 15 minutes, so I didn't do a thorough search. I went and looked at the live feed. Yeah, it looks unlike anything I've ever seen before. Whole different set of patterns, like way different set of patterns. So definitely looks like they're doing something new. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, yeah, I think BP Earthwatch is probably right that this new Awake fucking experiment is up and running. Maria, you want to know Danny's take on what? CME named in oil? CME? They don't name the CMEs. Who named it a CME? What? What, they named the CME? That's the name of the software. And the little observatory is...
Enlil Observatory? What?
Hold on.
Where have I been?
Give me 2 seconds. You talk. I'm going looking. I have to go pull up Solarham and a few others, and I'll go look at the Russian space program and see what I can find. Because this is now I'm just like, there cannot possibly be naming.
If they've done that,
solar flares.
Well, hey, the Vatican can call their thing Lucifer, so it's not like out of the realms of possibility, but.
No geomagnetic storms according to this. Quiet levels. Okay, there was a CME on November 5th. That's all I see. Hold on, I will pull up the the Russian one. No, Jesus. Yeah, I've never heard of them. Well, I guess it would help if I put it in English, wouldn't it? I have never heard of them naming CMEs. So someone will have to pull me up. And Lil was on the NOAA website. Hold on. Oh, someone sent me a link and it's going past so fast I couldn't pull it up. Give me a sec.
And Lil examines CMEs.
And Lil is the satellite. It's a satellite feed. It's for the WSA and Lil Solar Wind Predictor it's a satellite feed. It's not an it's not an actual name. Good guys, don't freak me out like that, man. I'm like, okay, what fucking reality have I fallen into this time that now they're naming solar storms? No.
What's
Maybe a little much for my brain to handle.
Since last show, oh my God, it's been such an emotional and energetic roller coaster. It's like no 2 days have been the same. People have felt, you think? Yeah.
I love you, Gina. You're funny. It feels like years since the last show. Funnily enough, Tracy, that's exactly what I felt like this week. It was like, it seemed like forever till it was, in all day today, it even seemed like forever till showtime. Until, of course, it got to be like half an hour before showtime. My kids were still awake. And I'm like, get out the melatonin. They need to go to sleep. Except for someone who's waving at me.
It's what's the date and time? What day and time is it in the States? So you guys have got election day tomorrow, right?
Yes. It is 4 o'clock on the 11th of November. 3 o'clock Central. Yeah. Eastern is 4 o'clock.
Poor Alex Jones.
Oh, gee, what's wrong with Alex Jones?
I don't know whether to cry or scream or
throw himself off a cliff or
so
November 7th. Sorry, not 11th. Sorry, guys. Yes, November 7th. Someone get me my glasses.
When the FBI just announced that there's nothing to look at, nothing to see here with these latest emails, I was speechless.
Zero Hedge put together, I think it was on Zero Hedge, put an article together that basically they examined like 600,000 emails and they worked out the amount of seconds it took them to examine 600,000 emails, and it worked out to be like less than a second per email. Right. Well, I'm sure you gave those a good look over, didn't you?
I have no words.
You have no words.
There's no words.
Anyone who thought that on the eve of the election that all of a sudden the FBI was going to arrest Hillary.
They'll do it after when she wins.
It could go that way. You never know. But I mean, it's just like...
My theory on all this, right, is I'm still suspicious of all this whistleblowing, including WikiLeaks.
Oh, totally suspicious of WikiLeaks. I
think they needed people to, they probably thought that latest batch of emails would do it. In terms of not
uprising.
Having the uprising, right? They've gotten so much coverage that I don't know. You'd actually have to be 6 foot under to have missed anything about this. So I think the deal is that Hillary's supposed to win, and which will cause an uprising, which will lead to civil war, is the whole plan here.
What, everyone's camera just popped on all at once?
Yeah. Well, a couple of people's anyway.
But that was 2 all at once. Boom. Okay, that's just wild.
Jessie's Kindle. There you go.
There she goes.
If she wins, there will be. I mean, it doesn't really matter which way it goes, right? There's going to be issues.
Well, Dawn has got a good point. She just said Texas is leaving the union if she gets in. And I could actually see that as something that they would pull off. Be like, that's it, we're out of here. We're no, take your little, yeah, we're out of here. We're done. We're not, there's no fucking way.
They're perfectly capable of sacrificing their own, right? To me, she feels like a sacrifice right now. She is a sacrifice for their end game.
It just feels like a Mexican standoff to distract everyone and delay as much as they can. And
I saw a great meme though the other day. It said, Bill tried to console Hillary by reminding her that Nelson Mandela didn't become president until after he'd served 27 years.
I saw that one. It was a good one. It was a good one. Friday's ruling on fuckers last week was the fact of post-election meme. And I want to tell you, there was some really, really good ones. I was like posting them out on my page, go, oh, that's a good one. Oh, I can post that on my page too. Because sometimes you just got to take the piss. And that's pretty much where I am. And I'm sorry, Americans, all of you guys, I love you. I feel really, really bad that you're living in this. But you just have to take the piss at this point. You really do.
But the rest of the world's not immune to this.
No.
And
no. I mean, someone on 9gag posted a picture and was like, they posted a picture of like Clinton and Hillary and Trump. And it was like, you know, everyone's looking at the Americans, but down here in Brazil, we've had to deal with these two, which is the exact same. I mean, it's been horrific what they've had to go through in Brazil and places like that too. So the issue isn't that as it is the role that the U.S. is pushed upon the world for itself to take, right?
Okay, so should cover off
Okay.
Leeloo updates, right?
Okay.
Just to get them out of the way. So
I need a cigarette for this, so I'm just going to start chain smoking early. Where do you want to start?
Hi, Edwina. You've got your camera on, love. Are you able to turn it off?
Derek possesses an
And Claire is talking.
Okay, muted everybody, so you'll have to unmute yourself again.
I don't smoke them if you got them. Oh, you ex-military too? That's what my sergeant used to say.
I can't turn Edwina's camera off, obviously. Edwina, your camera's on, darling. We can see you. Down the bottom of your screen, down the bottom of your Zoom screen, you've got your microphone and a camera.
Just so everyone knows, yes, Zoom is still completely fucked up.
Yeah, well,
Yes,
anyway.
yes, it is.
She's trying to do it while she's ducked down over the table. Okay, after last week's show. There we go. Thank you, darling. After last week's show, it became clear that people all over the place were, as I think we talked about it on the show, like this whole thing of being in the, like down here, one layer left in the original layer. And it was as if people were starting to have memories and being triggered into clearing whatever there is associated for them with this layer. All right.
Oh, I forgot we've got to go this far back. That's what I mean. This week has been insane. Okay.
So
Yeah.
it was very emotional. People were just getting triggered all over the place. So at 10 o'clock that night for me, we opened up a Zoom room so that we could just be together, share together, support each other. Leeloo did pop in, and then she was actually able to bring others in from the community there who connected with people here. And it was a very incredible few hours. And then
it was very emotional.
That call, though, went for over 18 hours. The Zoom room was open, and it went for over 18 hours. I crashed out at 3 o'clock in the morning, got back up at 7. There was still 80 people in the room. I went back to bed. I got up at 10, I think. There was 100 and something people in the room. Got back up to about 180.
Yep.
Within half an hour of closing the room, Oliver came back. And we chatted for a while. Then at some point during the conversation, my internet started going wonky. Oliver said, my connection is unstable too. This never happens. This isn't, like he sounded shocked. And then he dropped. And for the next 24 hours, my Zoom in particular, internet kind of in general, but Zoom in particular, was a mess. I couldn't hold a call at all.
I've never seen Lisa's internet this bad. No matter where she's lived in Australia, I have never. It was she would drop out of calls. Like you'd be trying to say at one point, I was trying to ask you a single question, and she dropped off the call, I don't know, 4 times in the middle of the question. And we finally gave up and was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to type it. I can't, that's how bad her internet got.
The next sort of significant thing that happened was Friday night. Myself, Donna, I don't remember who else.
Me?
Yeah, I said you.
Oh, sorry, you froze for a second. So, my internet connection's unstable. Look at that.
We're on a call, and a series of, they were stated as pre-recorded, messages came through. I think there were 7 in total. And they said part 1, part 2. And there was quite a dramatic story that unfolded in these messages.
And they were spaced out. Like some of them came within like maybe there was only 5 minutes between them. Some of them there was like 45 minutes between them, and we kind of sat there. We were on that call for.
I left that room open for hours in case.
Yeah, 3-4 hours, and Lisa ended up leaving the room open just to see if anything else came through. And I monitored it until Lisa got up the next morning.
There was, I think, yes, 7 messages, followed by a strange message that sounded like seeking my location. So it actually stated location and then a bunch of numbers and seeking and then
0101 1010 location, and it just went on, and then
it said found. Location found.
Yeah.
And at that point, Oliver supposedly came in live. And then Leeloo. And something just felt off about the whole thing. And then we called it as bullshit on the next day, Saturday. We went over the recordings and called it bullshit.
It didn't gel.
It didn't gel at all.
It did not gel. It was, and even when they were supposedly Oliver and Leeloo there live talking to us, it just, No, it just didn't gel.
A working theory right now is that the 18+ hour call left the line of communication open long enough for someone to trace it, track it, and intercept it. The next thing that happened was there was a very energetic doing amongst people in the UU room on Sunday. It was extraordinary. There was quite a few people involved, and I'm very proud of each and every one of you because that was wild. There's a few of us who had a feeling that after that we would be contacted again, and we were yesterday.
My morning this morning. No. Yeah, yesterday.
Well, it was yesterday for me anyway.
Yeah.
Not quite 24 hours ago. And again, it was Oliver and Leeloo. And I was supposed it was Oliver and Leeloo, but it wasn't. So where does that leave us? It leaves us with, okay, has this been a psy-op from the beginning?
I just want to add something just for a second to this. Because I wasn't on the call. Ow. I just broke my chocolate. Sorry. It was very sad. And it's all over my hands now. I wasn't on the call yesterday because it was the middle of the night from my time. And Ryan, who was on the call, sent me the recording. So I just want to clarify, when we say things didn't gel, just didn't seem right. It wasn't just us talking about our gut feeling, although that was heavily part of it as well. In the call that happened yesterday, they contradicted themselves to what the recordings were on Friday in a huge way. And some of the things that they said were so completely off. Wording. At one point, Leeloo says, when Lisa asked, where have you been for the last 4 days? Leeloo said, bringing the shit down. And it was like.
So you have to look at the sequence of events. Friday night we get these messages. They don't feel right. Saturday we called it. Sunday we did some more serious work. Monday they come in and tell us that it wasn't them on Friday, that they weren't.
It wasn't us on Friday, but it was. They sent one message.
I kept having to. It was a fuck up, right? Whoever this was we're amateurs. If this whole thing's been a psy-op, these guys were amateurs compared to who we've been dealing with, right? Not the same. They didn't know their stories. They were contradicting themselves. They didn't know the language. The energetics just were not there, full stop.
No.
Now, this almost, in one line of thinking, is it gives the communication when we've been having credence, if it was worth intercepting and worth doing a psy-op on, right? So what we've got is a couple of weeks' worth of communication. Wednesday night, potentially them tracking that enough, tracking the 18-hour call enough to get some samples of voices and things like that. Friday night, messing with us by sending us through some fake pre-recorded messages. And then...
That were wild.
Oh, incredibly dramatic.
Yeah, they were wild. And we sat there like the whole time going, like, eyes this big going, what?
No, actually...
What?
Because at this point, we're like 98% certain that all of those messages were fraudulent. Putting the information out that was contained in them would kind of feed into their plan, whatever that was, right?
But I have all the recordings, and I edited it out and edited it all in, so that they're all put together in numerical order for proof at some point in time in the future. So you listeners out there who are listening in on this call, you just know they're listening in on this call. You don't want to play that game because we have all the recordings to expose it all. So
we challenged them yesterday quite heavily, and they ran. They had no answers. They backpedaled. They contradicted themselves, and then they just ran and gave up. Which means if all of these communications we've had so far have been legitimate up to that point, we have not heard from Leeloo and crew since Wednesday of last week, when Oliver was cut off.
Maria, we don't know.
There is something about the moon, though, that is...
They always have to give you a piece of truth to pull you in. Remember this, that even in disinformation, even in bullshit, there has to be a certain amount of truth to pull the people in and get them to fall for the rest of it. The bit about the moon, what was said about the moon, I don't know. It could be nothing.
What did you send me last night about the first message? There was a mention of the moon in the very first message. What was it?
The very first message, he does mention the moon.
Well, what did he say? In what context?
Hold on. Give me a quick second. I will pull it up. What I wrote. In the very first recorded message, Oliver says, they have found our communication line. They have done this with the moon. This is their last triumph. And when he says the moon, I had to listen to that recording about 6 times to really verify that he said moon. Because you know how sometimes it becomes clipped at the end of a word, especially certain consonants using the Siri thing. But he did in the very first message, at the very one of the second sentence he says is they did this, they found our communication, they did this through the moon.
Someone mentioned George Cavassalis' email that he blasted out. There was a lot of disclosure in that for me. If you read it from...
Not necessarily in the sense that George may have meant it, though.
Yeah. On their perspective, from their perspective, as if essentially they were telling us they don't know what to do. They're dealing with technology they haven't come across before, which is us, and what we've got coming online. There are things that I saw as well on Thursday night, which was very new to me. And again, we're seeing, you know, it's like we've talked about this in previous weeks. It's like as we drop a layer, the technology on that layer gets exposed and we get to see it. Now, whether it's the technology they use to build the next one or how the technology they were using to run that one, but things keep getting, we're seeing new things. We're seeing things that we've never seen before, energetically, when we go out there, all right?
Yep.
We're also seeing things in the physical that we haven't seen before. So again, in terms of we don't know, still don't know what we're dealing with, is the bottom line. We still haven't called it.
I will say this. I know that 2 weeks ago, before, Lisa and I said on one of the recordings, one of the shows, that we have put in motion certain things to act as verification. The 3 specific things, none of those 3 have happened. Lisa asked them about it, what would be her last night, mine this morning, and they completely just ignored the question.
Sidestepped that one.
Sidetrack completely. So the three pieces of what would have been verification that they can do something other than communicate to us on a computer.
Mine specifically.
On specifically Lisa's. But, and I won't get into what the verifications were because I'm still holding them out. I'm still waiting to see. I haven't put that to bed yet. We don't know what will come out, what will happen tomorrow. We don't know. But they haven't come through yet. So we wait. And we observe.
But psy-op'ing this, like I said, to me gives it a little bit more credence. Obviously information was getting out that they didn't want to get out.
Oh, interestingly,
What?
because there was the big energetic work that was done Sunday through the Unfuckers group, but there was also the work that was done Thursday. There was a huge amount of energetic work that was done on Thursday.
Thursday night, my time, yeah.
Yeah. And then, yeah, because that was another 3 o'clock in the morning day for you. And then Friday morning, what I perceive as Friday morning, my time, is when this all plays out with these recorded messages coming in, which was such an extreme polar opposites to what we were working on Thursday, and then have this happen. It was like, wow, talk about your distraction, right? And then Sunday, and then immediately Monday, or what would be Sunday night, again, big, huge, energetic doing, and then boom, they come back and they try to play the distraction card again. I just find it interesting.
Yesterday, the guys, whoever we spoke to yesterday, they couldn't give us anything that had not already been posted in the UU room or said on calls.
Yep.
Nothing. Okay.
Yes, we could be recording right now. We could be being recorded right now by the psy-op'd guys. Yep, absolutely. It's okay. We have all the proof again. Lisa has recorded every single conversation. Every single conversation.
Oh, they're listening. Don't you worry.
Oh yeah, of course they're listening.
But I'd be surprised if they come back, because
if they want to show up right now and come talk to us, I double dog dare ya. Let's see you convince everyone, all 266 people in the audience right now. Go ahead. Floor's yours.
they won't.
No, they won't. Of course they won't. But I got to be, a proper hostess and invite them in. Here, please come speak to everyone. Red Rover. I call the fake Leeloo over. No, sorry. Just saying. Okay, you guys are just too fucking funny in the chat room there. Oh, you're all so fucking funny. Please do, I dare you to infinity. Yeah, exactly.
Everybody who's had personal direct contact with Leeloo, Oliver, anybody, up until last Wednesday, and including last Wednesday, and then who experienced these recordings from Friday night or yesterday, has just gone, no, that is not the same. That is not the same energies. There is not the same, nothing. What?
I uncovered one little thing in the recording, and because you guys listened to all of that play out, the conversation you had yesterday, this morning, whatever, before, the latest one. I don't know if you caught it, because I went through and transcribed and cross-referenced, because I had both recordings going at the same time. I had the one from Friday and the one from yesterday, and I was cross-referencing what was said for each one when they went through it. They used a line that was really, really interesting. And Donna, I felt you even through the recording, your back go up, because apparently you and I are on the same page when it comes to this one. I'm going to read you the line that they said. And I was just like, they didn't. Seriously? We have an echo coming back. I don't know if someone's unmuted.
Unmute, and you'll have to unmute.
Okay.
Oh, I may have control back though. No, not really.
Not really. You just would pretend control? Okay. Hold on. I'm just going to find, okay. Okay, so this was the part. Can you guys hear me? I don't.
Yeah.
Okay, so I couldn't remember if I'd unmuted myself. Oh, for fuck's sakes. No, my Zoom is being retarded. Okay, here we go. Leeloo said to Lisa, and it got everyone on the call, Leeloo said we can walk out right now, i.e. out of the construct right now, and never know that we left. When Lisa asked Leeloo to, how can we walk out? Leeloo responds, as I said, with a perfect channeled message platitude excuse about raising our energy up higher through our heart. And literally, I went and replayed that piece about 5 times. It was like, did they actually just say that? And I was like, all of our old timers who've been following this show for fucking years, if they know that there's one thing that fucking triggers me instantaneously to blow my stack, is those, oh, you must raise your frequencies. Because that just literally, and I saw that and I was like, that's basically what she said. It was a channeled message, platitude, the likes of which you hear from the ascended ass masters and your Ashtar, Tartar, whatever bullshitters. And I just was like, I can't believe they had the gall to actually use those words. And Donna, I love you, because the words that came out of your mouth, I just about wet my pants. I was laughing so hard because you just channeled the Danny, and it was like everything I was thinking came out of your mouth. It was beautiful. Yeah, Jennifer Gray says, my frequency will be just fine when they stop fucking with it.
Okay, but
Donna just basically said, I can't even paraphrase it. It was like basically, I don't fucking think so.
my energy,
My heart, right where it needs to be.
my heart's just fine. So
My heart's just fucking fine. It was
that bullshit.
it was a piece of work. It was beautiful.
Ugh.
Oh no, you didn't. Exactly. You can't make this shit up. I'm telling you.
So what we've got is everything, all communication up to Wednesday. We've got pre-recorded messages Friday. We've got conversation from yesterday. Conversation from yesterday, 100% bogus bullshit psy-op. Messages,
100%.
Messages from Friday, we're convinced 98% of it is. What I didn't get to finish telling you was after the pre-recorded messages, there was this location bullshit, location found, and then they came out and spoke to us live, which also contradicted this. The live voices from Friday night after the pre-recorded felt like the same people from yesterday, right? Mm-hmm. And then at the end of that, it was like the mask dropped, or the tech dropped that they were using to mask themselves, and are very dark, very digital. It was definitely John, who had the recordings of it, could tell that there was a human. You can tell the difference between the human voice and a purely digital voice through the tech that he's got. This voice that came in at the end was purely digital. It was not just, it was gross, and the energy of it was horrendous.
Yeah.
And it said, it sounded like
oily, oil, and then it was like,
that was almost coming through on your end then. I muted that, and that, oh no, muted it.
That was strange. The word kept saying oil, or it sounded like, it was so heavily distorted. Oil, and then it was another word plus the word oil, and then at the very end it sounded like it was saying Lisa's name.
Susie, you are sending your messages to me privately. You obviously don't mean to because you're asking everyone. So just go down where it's 2 and make sure you've got everyone clicked.
And her messages are coming to me privately too. Zoom is just fucked right now. Can you fuckers stop fucking with the Zoom? I'm just saying.
What was I saying?
This strange
And
voices.
it ended with saying my name a couple of times. And then we all went, what the fuck is that? That is like yuck. And then they stopped.
Yep.
So and the call yesterday, definitely psy-op. The recorded messages, there's still a little bit of a question mark over those for me. I'm just leaving a little sliver of whatever. But that's where I'm at.
Now, here's the thing, and I'm just going to take a minute to talk about this, because one of the thoughts that I had, and I've thrown multiple theories out there with Lisa and Ryan and Andy and Donna and just kind of playing the what if game. We know that a shift happened on Thursday.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone in Unfuckers felt it. Everyone had unique experiences, be it physical illnesses. I mean, unbelievable physical illnesses that seemed to have played out. And I got hit. I was in excruciating pain for 48 hours, like just almost doubled over, could barely walk. There was a lot of people who went through that. Massive, massive headaches. The other thing, though, is a lot of people felt, and Ryan posted in Unfuckers what would be my morning this morning, almost like a dampening, a numbness, like an emotional, like there's a calm there. So one of the theories I tossed out was the fact of, if we've dropped another level, or let's call it whatever it is, like let's go back, we'll use it through another timeline, another dimension, another layer, another overlay, whatever. If that's what happened on Thursday, and that's what it feels like to me, like that something radically changed everywhere, is it that if this is a psy-op, their equipment, technical equipment they use to try and, for telepathy, for whatever it is, we know DARPA has all this equipment and they can do all this shit. Did it suddenly no longer work? I.e., if we drop the frequency, if anything that's frequency driven, if our frequencies change because we're now not on quite the same level anymore, did their equipment just all of a sudden stop working? I'm just throwing things out there. Because there was a shift that happened on Thursday and Friday. There really, really was. And how does that play into this with this timing? That's what I find interesting. There's a timing here. With the energetics changing Thursday, with all the work we did energetically, and Lisa, you and I haven't done that kind of work in
3 years.
Time. And then Sunday, same thing. It was like, oh, fuck, I'm out of practice. Okay, here we go. Let's go. Something shifted. And the fact that all of a sudden these messages came in at that time, and they're very, in my opinion, Friday, and of course yesterday, definitely not the Leeloo and Oliver we spoke to before.
Yeah, I mean, if this has been a site from the beginning, they handed the shift changed and they handed it over to the 18-year-old trainees.
Or, like I said, Lisa, we just had jumped where they couldn't do it anymore. And I think the whole love bomb thing today was why everything, once you did, when you said to Marie, your camera's on, love.
Marie, your camera's on.
Marie Bacon, your camera's on. When you said about, you know, and Leeloo said, I'm going to send you a love bomb in 3, 2, 1, send. Fuck. They got no reaction. And it's like they knew they got no reaction. And if that was a testing of them trying to test their equipment, like, okay, we're going to send them a blast of some kind of a frequency to see if they get it at all, that call ended real fucking quick after that. It was, Ryan asked the one perfect question, asked for the secret password. And they couldn't answer it, and that was it. Done.
So you're saying your theory right now is that you think it's been a psy-op from the beginning and we just shifted layers.
No, I don't think that's a theory that I have. I'm looking at it from all the perspectives. If it was a psy-op from the beginning, because I'm not sold on that yet. I'm not sold on that at all. And that's why I said the 3 things that we put out there that we were waiting to get confirmation on, I'm still not going to give them out publicly because I don't know what this week will bring. Maybe this week something will come through to show that. I'm just talking the fact of we all felt something shift. And all of a sudden, the telepathy doesn't work anymore. All of a sudden, the emotional feedback that we always got from Leeloo, we always felt that emotional feedback from Leeloo, regardless. It's suddenly not there. I'm just putting it out there as one of a series of theories.
But when I look at this whole experience up to date, up until Wednesday, there has been nothing. If it's been a psy-op from the beginning, it has
exactly, Cheryl.
It's so backfired on them because it's had nothing but positive results in my mind. We've seen people's agendas exposed, people's programs exposed, people's beliefs exposed. We've had people who have seen these things in themselves and taken the opportunity to work through them. We've had physical healing. We've had relationships heal as deep-seated stuff has come up. We've had, I don't know, I'm lost for words actually because it's been nothing but
positive. And okay, let me just paraphrase this. And just, there are certain things that could be perceived as negative, i.e. the emotional impact it has had on certain people. If this was all to turn out to be a psy-op, am I echoing back? No. There is an emotional impact that has happened with certain people. Yeah, John, we lost someone, left the Unfuckers today who I'm going to dearly, dearly miss. Interactions that happened on that big mega 18-hour call. There's certain people in there who were very deeply emotionally affected by that. That could be perceived in my mind.
Connected to them. That was our doing.
No. I'm just talking about people's emotions, right? Could say that they for whatever reason. But on the whole, I can see nothing negative has come out of this.
No, me either.
We haven't lost anything. We've gained a shitload of insight into ourselves. And I would hope that every single person who's been following this from the beginning has had at least one moment of personal growth from this, where they've introspection, where they've been able to look at themselves and see a little piece of programming left. I know I have. Several little pieces have popped up. And you go, oh yeah, look at that. I didn't see that before. We've all learned a huge amount. And I wouldn't trade it for fucking anything. I'm sorry.
Wait.
I would not trade this for anything. I would not trade the last few weeks. People, I got a message. I've got a couple of them, but people kind of, that whole thing, like, oh, you know, guys, if this is a psy-op, it's going to ruin your credibility. This could ruin your credibility. And I'm like, I'm not in this for personal gain. I'm not in this for fame or fortune. I'm not in this for anything like that. And if that's the way people want to play it out, I don't care. Because I know how much we've taken from this. I know how much we've taken from this. Personally, myself. And I wouldn't trade it. Even if we never hear another word, I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Well, we don't know. Yeah, we don't know. I don't think the psy-op guys from the last few days are going to try anything soon.
Unless they got some seriously big balls.
And have done some serious research to get their answers straight. I don't know. No, I wouldn't trade this experience for anything either. I think what it did was force us to go forward in leaps and bounds and evolve very, very quickly.
On every level.
Yeah. And I've seen people, and I've done it myself, internally step up, energetically step up in ways that I hadn't for, like they said, for years, and start to trust that again. And it's yielded some very positive results.
Yeah.
It's been nothing but good. And if it is a psy-op, it's because of what we were doing as a collective here before it. You know, stuff that we've been talking about had to be on point. Otherwise, why bother? You know, if we were full of shit, what's the point? We already felt that we were so close. You know? I'm seeing it all as confirmation, to be honest. We're on the right track. And all this has done is fuel our desire more than ever to end this shit. And how's that a bad thing? It's given us.
Have you ever seen such a focused, for not just a day or a couple hours, but for weeks, an incredible focus of, this is fucking done. I am not interested in this fucking matrix anymore. I'm to fucking end it. That's it. Just it. So focused.
Okay, D. M. Sholly K. would desperately like to be added to the UU room. So you need to friend D and send her a message.
Yeah, don't just friend me and leave it, because I get so many friend requests a day right now. It's ridiculous. By the end of the month, I will probably be at my max limit too, the way this is going. Danny Arnold McKinney on Facebook. You have to, okay, if you're friends, then send me a message on Facebook saying, please add me to the unfuckers. And guys, I have just discovered, you see, that Facebook, not only do they have this spam folder, they've got another filter folder too. And I found 150 messages in the other filter folder. I'm not going through it. If you've sent me a message and you can't get through to me, try through someone else. Like someone here in the unfuckers room say, you know, Holly sent you a message. She can't, you're not responding. You must be going to your spam folders or one of your fucking filter folders. I don't know.
Yeah, you've got quite a few, it looks like.
I will go and try and sort it through. Sorry, guys. And Facebook has been, I have messages going missing continuously. I had to send a message to my friend this morning about going shopping. 5 times and finally gave up and pulled out Nick's tablet and texted her.
So,
and she lives 4 apartments over from me. So, you know.
I just want to get back to the stuff that went on last week with the scale. And we talk about resets. We've been talking about resets for a while. And I'm going to tell a story that was shared in the UU room because it is bizarre. And I'm not going to give names, but now this woman she sees this stuff regularly almost, you know. Pulled into a parking lot, and right next to the parking lot she was in, there was another one, a small one for a church. Saw a little old lady walking from the church, I think, to her car. A couple of minutes later, she was walking she was back in the same spot, walking to her car. And then not much later, she was back in the same spot, walking to her car. And then she drove off, came back, pulled back into the car park, and she was back in the same spot and actually made it to her car this time. 4 times she saw the same thing play out. Her son, and I don't mean to trigger parents, right, who are worried about these things, but it happens. Her son gets off a bus right out front of the house. She hears the bus pull up. That happens every afternoon. So she hears the bus. Son walks in the back door, says, "Hi, Mum, how was your day?" That's what he does every day. She says, "Good, how was yours?" He goes to walk downstairs. She gives him the garbage from the kitchen that he should have taken out the night before, but he didn't. And she says, "Take this with you on your way down." He leaves. 5 minutes later, she hears the bus pull up. He walks in the back door. Because she's already experienced this so many times, she was able to keep it together. Son walks in the back door, says, "Hi, Mum, how was your day?" She's like, "Good, son, how was yours?" Turns her out the garbage is back that he just took out 5 minutes before. "Can you take the garbage down with you on your way out?" Now, once he left, she was a bit shaken.
As you would be.
As you would be. We've had people see an aeroplane stop midair. That's happened a couple of times, where it like the whole sky just freezes for a few seconds. The same thing happened with someone's daughter. Oh, wow. Huh. So did they attempt several resets last Thursday? Or did they succeed in one?
And if they did, was it glitching out? Was it one of those, they put the attempt in and it goes, reboot, oh fuck.
Saw 2 planes flying, one on top of the other day. I saw the same man walking the same dog twice up the same road. I passed him twice.
And it does, Cheryl, it does make sense that they're trying to reset. If they're losing as bad as we know they're losing right now, because we know they're losing.
Saw a car disappear in front of the freeway yesterday. Okay, so the fact that we're seeing it, right, means that, to me, it's like we're not taking these up resets. We're not taking them on somehow. Mm-hmm. And less people are taking them on, perhaps. Recurring dream last night, but never had the dream before, which was weird. Last Thursday, it took me an hour to get home from a 10-minute bus trip. Yeah, like seeing the Mandela effects.
Okay. Okay. I want to bring that up because of what we discovered on Friday.
Okay.
2 major things that we did. So because of these recorded messages that came in that were mentioning certain things, we went looking. Dawn and I were like, the whole time looking up stuff.
Well, hang on. Okay, so you're going to give
Looking up dates specifically, like, because they were giving us dates. They were giving us like 1839, 1957.
Well,
And I've got a piece of paper
they
with
were
them all.
giving us dates without giving them why they were giving us dates.
Sorry?
Well, you can't just say they gave us dates without the larger premise, which was that the storyline went that they were inside the construct, moving around from timeline to timeline, closing out the portals as they went, right? And making changes. So what it looked like we were seeing at the time was the cause of the Mandela effect that we've been witnessing and chronicling for the last 18 months. It's like we were going backwards through the experiences, and here we were at the cause. Right? But in doing so, they gave us a bunch of dates, as Dee said, certain years. Right?
So we went to go look and see if things jumped out at us, like changes that maybe would jump out at us in history on those certain dates. And just, you go to Wikipedia and do a broad spectrum search on just that year. You want to mute everyone?
Someone's in the bathroom flushing the toilet.
So we went looking. Now, one of the things that came up, and Donna, I can't even remember what triggered us, but we went looking at the Project Bluebeam stuff. Now, all of us on the call are all people who've been researching this shit for years, and literally years. I have been looking at Project Bluebeam stuff for 10 years, like here and here, and it keeps coming up, so you go back in and look at it again. And one of the websites I use as a base jump-off point for a lot of this stuff is Biblioescapades, because it is so massively huge with articles from the 80s right up to now on every topic imaginable. It gives you kind of a good place to jump off from. I have read their synopsis article on Project Bluebeam, at least Biblioescapades. I'll pull up the link and I'll drop it in here in a second. Right. So, Biblioescapades rundown on Project Bluebeam has always been the same. Project Bluebeam is a joint venture with NASA. It involves using holograms and lasers to create a fake alien invasion scenario. It has always been about that. And you get like a little brief message about how, like maybe a sentence or something that would say things like, could also be used to fake the second coming of Christ type scenario. When you go to it now, it is completely changed. There it is. Yes, thank you, Mad Tom. I can always rely on Tom to come up with the links. Love you, darling. Mad Tom's just put it in the room there. Now, it's all about a fake second coming of Christ, a fake one world religious experience. Nothing, almost no mention of spaceships, of a fake alien invasion, nothing at all. It is 100% almost completely religiously based to push their one world religion. And I literally was like, that's not what this article used to say. I've read this article, this specific article before. That's not what this used to say. So that is one major change, because I went through and looked at several articles after that. And yes, the whole focus of Project Bluebeam has gone from that NASA fake alien invasion scenario to a fake religious experience where they're going to have God speak to everyone in their own language, in their heads, telepathically, and it'll be their own God, right? Whether it's Jesus or Muhammad or it's Buddha or it's Shiva, or it doesn't matter. That was the first one. The second one, and you guys will remember on Friday in the Unfuckers Room, I dropped a link, and it was a Wikipedia link of lists of UFO sightings throughout history. Now, again, I know I've been researching, like the UFO was one of the first things, rabbit holes I went down. I have researched this shit. I know that most of you guys have researched this shit. If you go to that page now, the list of historical UFO sightings, unbelievable. Fully documented UFO sightings in the 1500s with woodblock ink pictures to demonstrate the UFO sightings that were created by the artists who watched these massive UFO battles happening in like 1565 in Europe. Okay, it was there we go. Thank you, Mad Tom. He's just pulled up the list, the Wikipedia list link. I can always rely on Tom to always have all the links just right there on his fingertips. I've never seen a list like this. Like, we all know about Roswell. We all know about this stuff. I'm talking stuff historical. Not covered on Ancient Aliens either. Like, massive lists. In the 17 and 1800s in the States, huge lists of UFO sightings. I don't remember that.
Like they're calling them airships.
Airships, yeah.
So there was stuff in these years that they mentioned. There was Lorraine and Pamela both got your cameras on. You could shut them off, please. We were seeing things change that we hadn't seen before.
Yep.
So that kept us going, like, okay. But in terms of modern day news, we've also got John Kerry announcing he's going to go down to the Antarctic for some fucking God knows reason. And we've got the Canadian military.
In the middle of an election week?
Yeah, and we've got the Canadian military going to the Arctic to investigate some strange noises.
Weird sounds under the sea in the North Pole. And tornadoes in Rome.
Okay, Lorraine, can you please turn your camera off, darling?
Bottom left hand of your screen if you are on a PC.
Not me. No, not you, darling. Lorraine. It doesn't tell me what she's on. What device she's on.
No.
Okay, I've really got to get control back of this thing.
It would be nice. Oh, he's going to Antarctica, then to New Zealand. Oh, that's interesting.
To the place of no time, the place of no place.
The place that's not a place, and the place that is not a time. Time outside of time.
Because he has to. What was that?
Because the weather's good. What? He's just suddenly they've had a heat wave in Antarctica, so he just up and decided he's going to go to Antarctica.
Okay.
What? Maybe we'll be lucky and he'll fall off a glacier.
Attack of the killer penguins.
We can always hope. We can always hope.
Okay, we did hit 300, by the way.
Holy shit, seriously? Oh, we did. Sorry, guys. We're at maximum room again.
No, we had a couple drops, so 3 spaces now. Why is John Kerry going to the Antarctic? Like,
to talk about climate change with the penguins, apparently.
Now, didn't Obama go down there recently?
Well, we never had proof that he did, but on that South American tour, you look where his dates were, going down to Argentina, and then he was going to have all of a sudden they decided they were going to have 2 days in this one place that just so happened to be in like the southernmost point of Argentina, which is like literally a hop, skip, and jump from Antarctica. And that was like just months after everyone else had gone to Antarctica. So. Yeah, when the Russian patriarch went down to Antarctica, purportedly, that's not a confirmed thing.
The penguin sent him on a mission
Sent him on a mission from God. The penguin sent me. I'm on a mission from God.
I don't know. All I know.
How do you make this shit up? You can't make this shit up.
It is bullshit. That's all I know. I have no words anymore. I have none. The words do not. I don't English anymore. I don't.
I had to go grocery shopping today.
Silence for the next hour. Just like.
I came out of my cave for the first time in 4 days today because I had to go get groceries. And I literally, it was all I could take to leave the sanctity, the little dome of peace in my house, which with 4 kids is really not all that peaceful. But perceptively, that little dome of peace, and then go out in public into like a grocery store, it was about all I could take. I was out of the house for 2 hours, and I don't think I'm leaving again for the next 2 weeks. I think I've decided.
I mean, it used to be Siberia they sent you to when you fucked up. Maybe Antarctica's the new destination.
Antarctica's the new Siberia. Ooh. Yeah, I can't people anymore. I definitely can't English anymore. And I don't know about anyone else. I mean, okay, let's follow this up, and I'll put a preface on this and say, I'm not the best typist in the world. I am dyslexic. As anyone on Fuckers knows, I have certain letters that switch, and unless I'm correcting myself, you all know what they are. My typing, though, has gotten so bad that my fingers actually don't type what my brain is telling it to. I type completely different words than what I intend to type. And not like the difference between then and than. I mean, like, thinking in my head, I'll go home, and it comes out, I'll go to Lisa's. I don't English anymore. I don't really type anymore. Spastic on the keyboard. Exactly. Loads of smelling mistakes. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, you guys are just a riot. The chat room is just seriously, you guys are on fire tonight.
I think it's no. Fuck. She's one of us. Maybe we just need to let off some steam today, because it's just been such an intense, energetic, emotional roller coaster for the last week. Maybe today's just a day to play, because you can only look at what's going on in the world in absolute awe and dismay, if you're, from one hand, or in celebration that it's all being exposed on the other hand. The job that the quintessential they are doing in exposing themselves is fucking phenomenal. Thank you. But
it's like bizarre theater. Yeah, it is. Here's the thing. I literally have several times this last weekend closed the internet down, like as in get off Facebook, turn off that, and just read a book. So because I've been talking about the Spider Robinson stuff, I actually started reading my Spider Robinson books, which is where solace comes from, etc. And I posted it out on one of the books on removing the shackles. Now, when I first read these books like 10 years ago, I loved them because they were so outrageous. The stories are so ridiculously far-fetched, insane and crazy that they're like pure fantasy. Except that now we're living it.
okay, fog. Okay. There has been some seriously weird fogs in the US and anywhere else, I think in the UK as well. at Canada. Is that San Francisco, Scotland, Indiana, Pakistan, Colorado, Uruguay. Oh my God, okay, all over. London, but not just...
That London doesn't count, sorry.
It's always in fog. No, there was a photograph in...
Singapore? Singapore?
Eerie fogs, thick fog, something wrong with this fog, coloured fog. There was one that was pinky purple, which I would love to show you the photo of, but I don't know how long it would take me to find it in that year you're in. Can you send me a link to it directly or something? The sky looking completely fake in some moments or completely whited out. And then in other moments, it's gorgeous. It's crystal clear blue.
The sky here, yesterday, I grabbed my kids' tablets and was snapping pictures of the sky all day. I posted some of the photos first thing yesterday morning. It was like 7:45 in the morning when I snapped the first photos. There were shapes in the clouds I've never seen before. Never seen before. And all day it would go chemtrails, big. I mean, at one point it was like we had a striped sky.
Hang on a sec. Just send it to me in a message if you can on Facebook, and I'll grab it.
And then all of a sudden you'd go back out to have a smoke, and it'd be completely clear blue sky. Just little white puffball, normal looking clouds. And then I'd go out an hour later, and the sky would be hazed over with bizarre fucking clouds. And at the very end of the night at sundown, there was a blast of sky. On one half of the sky, it was completely hazed over white. And it was like someone took a ruler and drew exactly down the center of the sky. And the other side of it was completely blue. And the sun was setting right in between the two. And the sunlight on the one side was a completely different color than the sunlight on the other.
Okay, this is too cute. I'm going to show this.
Okay.
But first I'll show that.
Yeah, Sony, that did happen to us in Australia, but this was even more bizarre because of the way the sunset was. And I tried to take a picture of it, and it just didn't come out.
I'm trying to.
Use speeches, Crystal? Yeah? Yeah. Weirdness.
Get a load of this. How cute is this? This is happening right now. This is his favourite show. And he likes to sit and watch us.
He's got good taste.
How funny is that? How cute is that?
That's really, really cute.
Where are I? Okay, I've got to check Facebook. People are sending me photos.
The sun feels different. Like yesterday and the day before, the sun felt different. It felt glorious. Like it felt warm, but not burning. It was, I could even look at the sun at points. And then it was like chemtrails. It was like, we can't let the people see that. Cover the sky in chemtrails again.
Oh, that's a good one too. I'm going to grab that.
Definitely sending you photos?
Yep. I'll share them all in a second.
I can show my photos from yesterday morning. I can't show the other ones, unfortunately. Okay, see? My brain just glitched out. I just went down and was like, I'm going to go look at something, and I forgot what the hell I was just going to look at. Therein is my issues.
Well, everyone's we get lots of photos. There's also been the other end of that too, which I found, and others have found online from what I can see, is the glare factor. Like you don't even have to be facing the sun. It's not it's just so bright and so glary. It's been my experience the last 3 or 4 days.
Well, that's really funny because yesterday morning, like I said, the sun was beautiful, and then they started laying these chemtrails in, and it got so bright on our deck. Now, I mean, Malta here is much like Morocco, and all buildings are painted white. So you can imagine you're surrounded by white buildings, and I have white floors and white walls. The sun really reflects. But at one point yesterday afternoon, Nick and I could not go outside to have a smoke. And I was sitting having a smoke with my eyes closed, covering my eyes because the glare was so bad that it was like it was stabbing me in the eyeballs. It was crazy.
Okay, I got lots of good photos to show. Yeah. They're still coming in.
I don't know if I've got a second here. My problem is remembering where I file pictures. I have a terrible habit of just kind of like randomly putting them somewhere.
Can someone who follows Yellow Rose for Texas? I'm not going to be able to show all these photos, girl. Tell me the Ed is dead info. When was that supposedly? A little over a year ago. Yeah, I don't know so much about that. Okay, let me find these photos now that I've just downloaded them all.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's other ones that I've been asked to show. Okay, hang on. That's that. Sorry, guys, I know this makes for boring viewing, but...
Man, your computer's just like ding, ding.
It's actually my phone going off next to me, letting me know about it.
Oh, was it your phone that's doing that? Okay. I was wondering.
That one. That one.
Oh, someone just posted something, but hold on.
Okay, so here is the pinky purple fog I was talking about. Can you see it? Dave? Anybody?
Hold on. I'm not looking. I'm looking at something else. Yeah, I've seen that one, or seen stuff very similar to that.
That's the tornado in Italy.
Yeah. It was huge.
Jesus. Weird rainbows.
Oh, that's an interesting one. We had a solar coronal rainbow yesterday. It was so bright I could barely look at it, but I would manage to see about half of it as a full 360 solar corona rainbow.
Oh, one of the sun. And then I think this is it.
Yep, and that's what we had yesterday. Yep, we had that yesterday. Exactly. Fuck, that could be a picture of my sky from yesterday.
So that's the same photo, I think, put through a filter. Okay, now I've also been asked about the dream. Now I've got these two images, and one of them is not correct. Yeah, I believe. This is the ones for dreaming. Just trying to see where if they're different. No, they look the same. These are the codes for out-of-body dreaming and remembering your dreams. But either these two have both got an error in them. The EA part was wrong. Has anyone got the one that they know is absolutely correct? The colour one's not correct. Okay. Because I've been asked for it so many times. So you can just take a screenshot or something of this one. Yes, do it out of the recording. So
Yeah, you pause the recording when you watch the recording and take a screenshot.
You can't see my screen?
I can see your screen.
Someone can't. Well, I want to make sure I'm doing the right one though. So if someone could show me the one that they know is correct, absolutely, on Facebook, I will share that because I'm not too sure about that other one.
Yeah.
People have done all sorts of things with these codes, you know, just printing them out or writing them out, putting them under their pillow, just looking at them before they go to sleep, and remembering their dreams and having some incredibly lucid dreams and all around positive experiences from it, from what I could tell. Someone even put it under their pillow who does regularly lucid dream and remembers their dreams, but their partner never does. Claims to have never remembered a dream. And he ended up having a night full of dreams that he remembered. The E is supposed to be an O with a line through it. Okay, I'm going to have a look, see if anyone sent it to me on Facebook.
That's one of the things I wanted to say, right? When we go back to the whole Leeloo conversation of is she, isn't she, right? The question. And the reality of it is like, for example, coating our water with 100% unlock, setting the intention water. Well, we've all known about this. How many discussions has there been about Dr. Emoto's work about water? How many conversations have we had in Unfuckers over the last year about water and setting your intent in the water, even if it's just writing, you know, the word love or healing on the bottle, etc. There's nothing in my mind, nothing the negative that comes from that. This is stuff that we already know. And people have had some amazing, amazing results with that as well, too, with the whole one unlock on the water. Because the words don't matter. Really, the words don't matter. It's the intent that you are setting on that.
I would preface it by saying, you know, with that intent is that you do not leave yourself in any way vulnerable. You don't want to just sort of like completely open yourself up, unlock everything and leave yourself open and vulnerable. It's not about that. So set your intent to 100% unlock this for this purpose. You know, I mean, get a little specific with it. I think just throwing around 100% unlock without any really clear intent could be potentially leaving you open to some fuckery. But as a whole, no. I think 100% unlock with some intent, some clear intent, is really beneficial. I've had to have tap water. I've done 100% unlock on the tap water. It actually tastes like the water we had when I was a kid. unfuck.
I'll be right back. Hold on.
Well, does anybody... No, hang on. Where's Donna?
Have a good sleep.
There. Thank you, Jayleen.
And you're not going to believe this, Lisa.
What?
It's been an hour and a half already.
Yeah. No, I'm not. Okay, so they're in the chat room too, so I will grab those.
You guys did daylight savings time, Marie. Hence my post in Unfuckers going, I think it's 4 p.m. Eastern, but all of you North Americans who just changed your time over, you may want to verify that, because I can't keep this whole daylight savings time trade overs of an hour ahead, an hour behind, and Lisa's an hour ahead and I'm an hour behind, or some other way. I don't know. Yeah, I hate the time change too. I find there's fuckery with that whole daylight savings time change shit. There's definitely fuckery involved in that. Lisa, you're muted. Ah, okay, she knows she's muted. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Why not just get up later? Yeah. It's really, really funny because we have friends of ours growing up who are farmers. And that was their whole thing, is like the cows don't give a shit about daylight savings time. Yeah, exactly, Jennifer. The cows don't care about daylight savings time. Therefore, the time is in Saskatchewan, Canada, they don't recognize daylight savings time because they're farm country. They just like, fuck that shit. That's asinine.
Okay, that's what we got. So if anyone wants to grab that, do a screenshot of it or something right now.
Lisa, can I get you to cut and paste that text and drop it in the chat so that we can direct?
It's already in there as well. It's in the chat room. Oh.
Kimber, you've got your camera on, hun.
I'll put it back in again. You can print it out, write it out, do a pretty picture of it, whatever you like. And put it under your pillow, or just look at it before you go to bed, or people are just playing with it in all kinds of ways. I haven't since Thursday. The question is, have you felt Leeloo? And I haven't since Thursday. There was an interesting interaction. So Thursday, I was out. I did, and see, this is the thing. If it's been a psy-op all along, man, the tech's been good up to this point. Telepathically communicated with her, asked her to connect with me when I got home on the computer. So no one knew about that except me and whoever I was communicating with, right? I got home about an hour later and received a message from Ryan who said, Leeloo, or someone pretending to be Leeloo, just sent me a message telepathically saying she's not ignoring you, but she can't make the connection. And I said, well, that's interesting, because about an hour ago I communicated. And I actually did. There was a two-way communication when I did. I said that she sent me her energy, absolute, and a mental picture. And now, obviously, Ryan had no idea that interaction had taken place. Yeah. That was Thursday. So that was the last time for me.
Yeah.
And if that was some kind of technology, then they either don't have access to it anymore or it's not working.
No, someone did bring that up when I was laying that kind of theory out there, is You said it early on in the show. You said about as we drop down layers, their technology gets shown to us, right? So is that it? That technology doesn't work on the next layer down? Or the technology from the next layer down doesn't work on us from the layer up? However you want to look at that.
Bottom line is, though, we're close. Bottom line is, we're over the target because we're getting a shitload of flack.
Oh, yeah.
Bottom line is, we, for the most part, feel empowered. More connected to each other. We have a vision of something to cohesively work towards, which we didn't before. I mean, we all knew that we wanted out. We all knew we wanted this to end. We all knew we were trying to bring this shit down with no concept really of what that looked like afterwards. Now, even if it's not a correct image, even if it's not a true image, if it's a unified, shared image and goal, I think that is incredibly powerful, because the general feeling that we all share is that this is a place of beauty, wherever we're going. It's a place where we are completely 100% free, physically, energetically, mentally, and emotionally. It's a place of heart-centeredness and heart connection, and so I can't see any downside in us collectively sharing that vision. And reaching
that one basis goal of enough with the shit. We're done. This matrix is just fucking over. Whether it's ripping the veil off, whether it's collapsing the last layer, whatever that looks like, the intent is the same. And that has been such a huge force of energy as far as I'm concerned from everyone. Yeah.
There's a message in the chat room. My vision quest in August showed me to watch these ladies for the latest updates, and the game was ending with the equinox.
Which, the winter equinox?
And they brought a big black cube to New York.
What?
Anyone got any stories?
Link? Okay, which is, can someone tell us what is the equinox, or when's the equinox date? I don't.
Fall equinox. Do you know what the date? You got the date on that one?
September 21st is the autumn equinox.
So it's something that's passed.
The end is December 12th.
Solstice.
December 21st is the solstice. Yeah, exactly. And then we entered that week that I always call now the time outside of time, that 7 to 10 day period of time outside of time.
Okay, speaking of which, somebody has stumbled on, and they're in the process right now of researching this in the UU room. Oh, this is really interesting. I reckon she's onto something. I've got to find it.
The astrology and the 111.
I want to put it out there because I think anybody who feels called to, who feels like, gets a ping from this, look into it, because the more minds on the job, the better, obviously.
Yeah, I'm not into astrology, so I was like, I'm waiting to see what everyone else has to say who's more knowledgeable than I do. That's not been an area that I've looked into.
It's about Saros, So I'm just going to read it. I won't bring it up on screen, but am I doing this math correctly? Every 111 years, we complete 6 Saros cycles. Exactly. My theory, seeing as eclipse points are considered karmic in astrology, I decided to check how the moon cycles could be manipulating karma through time codes. Then I realized history is reset by the same mathematical cycles of the eclipses, Saros cycles. The nodes of the moon are called dragon points. By checking where the eclipses were and by which degrees, in 1987, we could perhaps find out by which degree we could unlock the history and unlock time. Does anyone get what I'm saying? I don't know how to put this into words. The dust hasn't settled on my mind-blown moment. And then there's a link to a Wikipedia page, which I will just share. I don't know. This is one of those things I got a ping from. So, can I say there's something in this? And it goes on with a bunch of dates that I don't understand. And then another link to Cafe Astrology, which I will also put in chat. And Saros series number 7, solar eclipses, another link. So anybody who's into astrology or just feels pinged by this information, I think it's interesting. So I'm going to just put all these links in. Stuff from NASA. Huh. The thing I'm reading is from the UU room in Facebook. And I'm putting all the links in associated with it. There are 108-year patterns. Okay, it's because 111 years may be lunar years, solar years, and not necessarily Gregorian calendar years. There's quite a number of cycles to go through. But I reckon she's on it.
Interesting. Lisa, can you drop those links? Well, it's all that post is in the UU room. If someone can do me a favor, send me a hyperlink to, like, a direct link to that post. We'll make sure we get the link to it, so we can at least pull out the links of what she said. Now I have to ask a question because this whole black cube in New York was brought up.
Yeah.
Madcom just sent me a video. I've pulled up the video. It's like a 31-second video. It's like a big black cube statue standing on its corner in New York. I go look it up. Apparently this was installed in 1967. So yeah, 1967 is when it was installed.
What?
Calling on all Americans, especially those in New York. Do you remember a big black cube? Here, and I'll pull this up. I'll pull it up. Guys, I'm going to share screen, okay, Lise? Like, hold on. It's called the Alamo. Excuse me, what the fuck? Okay, come on. Mouse, just work, please. There. Here's the picture of it. This big cube, and it was installed in 1967 as part of sculpture and the environment. New York Department of Cultural Affairs. In what way does a black cube have anything to do with environment or culture? Just saying, right? Like, really? I've never seen this before. I've never heard of this before. Anyone from New York or who's been to New York, or I would love to hear opinions.
Oh, have I just been sending all those links just to one person and not to everybody? Is that what's been going on?
Probably.
Oh, God, that's annoying.
That's what Zoom keeps doing to me too. It keeps sending me, I go to try and click every message. I have to make sure I click to everyone because it takes me to just random people.
Okay, well, there's one. Oh, well, actually, if I've sent them all to you, Could you copy and paste them into the chat to everyone, please? Otherwise,
You can't copy and paste out of the chat.
yeah, you can.
Can you? I've never been able to do it. Yeah, the Borg cube. I'm sorry. That Borg cube. Really not sure. Not sure. Doctor Who, the cube strikes again. Yeah, that cube thing just keeps coming back up, eh? Just ridiculous. I don't know. We just keep finding more and more fuckery shit. Like, I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know, folks. It's just kind of like.
So did we get any guesses? Does anyone know anything about that cube in New York? Is that?
Someone said they went and saw it years ago. A bunch of people saying have no idea, never heard of it. There's a black cube in Santa Ana, California, at the Kids Science Center. Strange.
Well, okay. Remember what I shared the other week about the code that was put into the AI quantum computer that runs the Matrix? And how their tech was all starting to glitch out. This was done at the end of August. So we've started to see these changes in Saturn already, the changes of shape and the change of colour. To me, in my line of thinking and the way that technology rolls out, is I'd keep an eye on Saturn because I think we're going to see more changes. The next thing to really fuck up and glitch out will be the moon. Speaking of which...
talk about that.
It was jumping all over the place on Friday night here. And then I think as it rolled around to Friday night in the rest of the world, it was literally jumping across the sky and back. It didn't know where it was. Then the announcement of this super moon that's going to be the first one for 78 years. Now, if you go back and look at all the media from 78 years ago that's online that you can find, there's no mention of it. There was a blood moon, I think. Or are these just new terms they're coming up with, or what?
No. This is the whole thing. We've had wild shit happening with the moon. And, for example, there was the hold on, I'm going to come up with the right terminology. They called it in August, the first week of August. I want to say it was like around August 8th or 10th. There was the big shadow on the moon and all the pictures. Oh, sorry, on the sun. And everyone was like, "Oh, look, it's a freaking eclipse that came out of freaking nowhere." And I was like, "No," and I went looking, and it was like, "There's no scheduled eclipse for this time." And yet we saw all the pictures on Soho and all the pictures that had pictures up. And they're like, "Oh, it was a lunar transit." Yeah, it happens. It's so common. Because I went looking at lunar transit, and I could find a lunar transit listed in 2004 and one in 2007. And that's it. So they're so common several times a year. I'm like, really? Several times a year there's a lunar transit that it looks like all of a sudden the moon is completely casting a shadow over the sun and you can't see anything? I'm going to call bullshit right now.
Also, blue moons. When you get 2 full moons in a month?
Yeah.
Used to happen once in
a blue moon. Yeah.
Apparently that's happened like 4 times so far this year. Is that true?
And then they have this new black moon, which I've never heard of before.
They're just making up names now. I mean, they're just...
They're fucking making it up as they go along. I'm completely done with this shit. Seriously, you're all a bunch of idiots. All those people, you're all idiots. All these NASA goons. And what is with fucking NASA coming out with opinions on everything from health articles to stuff that has absolutely fucking nothing to do with science? NASA releases information about this virus. Really? Because astronauts are fucking doctors now? And they study human viruses? Every week there's a new article with NASA making comments about something that has nothing to do with space. Seriously. Them there be morons, telling you.
I'm just going to sit back and be amused by you in the chat room.
Me in the chat room? Why? Am I being funny tonight?
It's the pair you between you and the chat room. It's just it's amusing. I can just sit back and watch.
Thank you for joining us for the comedy hour. I'll be here all week. Try the veal.
So, hands up. Who does energetic work, like conscious energetic work?
I'm rusty.
Okay, there's quite a few of you.
I would love to.
Quite a few.
Sigh.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Better ask who doesn't. Yeah, looks like most people do in this room.
Yeah, I'm rusty too. Yeah, very rusty, as this weekend proved.
Well, from what my experience over the last week, right? What?
Perhaps we need to clarify what we mean by an energetic work.
Well, go on.
Well, just because someone made just the things that yes, they do Reiki, and I'm like, okay, that's not what we mean. Okay, and so this word has come up. This word came up today, and it is something that I've never thought of myself as this is what I do, and that is remote viewing. This has come up today in the Unfuckers room during the day. There was quite a discussion going on at one point. I've never associated with what I do with the word remote viewing, and it wasn't until someone actually sent me, oh God, it may have even been Jeff. Jeff, I think you sent me something on remote viewing months ago, and I went, oh, okay, that's kind of like what I do. But I never would have classified it as that. So when Lisa's saying energetic work, I think, Lisa, you clarify, you are talking about remote viewing, the kind of work that we did this weekend.
Yes.
Okay.
But it's not just viewing, as in observe.
No, remote doing.
Remote doing. Put it that way.
Hey, I like it. We just coined a new term. Remote doing.
Remote doing. Start, if you're rusty, if you haven't done any remote doing lately, just go out and have a look around.
Uh-huh.
And see what you see that you couldn't see before.
Mm-hmm.
Energetically, or I don't know, another way of putting it would be the multi-dimensional technology is being exposed. And remote unfucking.
Yeah. Nice, I like that. And
just follow your instincts. If it's something that you're meant to deal with, you'll know what to do. We're stepping into, well, we're already there, but in terms of consciously becoming aware of it and then actually acting upon it, we're stepping into and through these steps right now. Even way back when I originally interviewed John Lamb Lash and we talked about his Kalika War Party, there was this whole conversation that ensued for weeks, if not months, around being warriors and energetic warriors. And people really...
I remember that.
People really feeling the step
that show. That was a good show.
And, yeah, energetic ninjas. I'm a ninja. There is a lot of work to be done. We've already been doing it. We've been doing it all along. This is how we broke down 777 layers or whatever the fuck it is. to get to this point. And we need to keep doing what we've always been doing. But I think our ability to do it consciously is just off the scale. And for those of you who have just been absolutely exhausted, just sleeping more than normal but can't seem to ever wake up, you're working in your sleep. Sometimes you have those days where you feel like you're just not here and you can't think straight. You feel like you haven't quite woken up all day.
You mean like today?
Yeah. It's often because you are off working and you don't consciously know about it, because if you are, that information can be gleaned. So you deliberately keep yourself in the dark until the job's done. And often after the job's done, you'll go, oh, that's what I've been doing. Yeah.
Okay, I want to talk about something, because this was, and I don't know if you saw it, 'cause you and I over the weekend played that like tag team back and forth. We didn't get a chance to really talk this weekend. When I woke up on Sunday, and what was going on in the work that was being done, the remote unfuckery that was being done, I didn't get a chance to even get in. Facebook was not letting me in Unfuckers, and then when it would let me in Unfuckers on your post that you did the call out on, it wouldn't let me expand any of the comments. So when there was, for example, the one doing that was going on that was major, I couldn't expand those comments for 2 hours. And when I finally got in, there was 280 comments that I had to go back and read. That was the blow by blow of what everyone was doing, what everyone was seeing. And I literally had a huge thud moment, because I had been working on that in 2013. So one of the things I wanted to bring up is the fact of time is irrelevant. Time is part of the construct. So any of you guys who are watching this video, etc., you may have been involved in remote unfuckery 10 years ago, 10 months ago. And yet, then all of a sudden pieces click in now and you go, oh shit. But that can't be it. And like I had several people kind of, over the last few months, different things that have come up in conversation, they've said to me, well, I saw this, but it can't be related, because that was like 2 years ago. Time is irrelevant. Time is part of the construct. When we're doing all of this kind of energetic unfuckery, it doesn't matter what year it was, what time it was, anything. And I look at it now, and I look at all of a sudden, like I said, I had this massive thud moment. I actually went outside and sat by myself for about a half an hour looking at some of the shit that you saw, Lisa, some of the shit that I saw back in 2013, some of the shit that we worked on, and went, that's directly related to exactly what happened on Sunday.
Well, maybe we laid the groundwork, or did the scouting.
Well, one of the things I thought of is exactly what you just said. If everybody's working it all at once, perceived all at once, maybe it can be tracked. But if it's hidden through time, i.e., let's say you worked on it in 2012, and I worked on it in 2013, and someone else worked on it in January 2014, and someone else was working on it in early 2015. It's all the same piece. It can all be the same job, if you will, that we're all working on. But it's cross-dimensional, it's cross-time. Time is irrelevant once we step outside of this construct that we live linearly in. Linearly?
I just watched the first 2 episodes of Frequency last night, so. Okay.
I've only watched the first episode. I need to catch up on Timeless, because that's the one to me that was just like, oh, how they keep going back in time and changing the future by accident in ways they could never fucking have conceived of. It's like, oh, really? I don't like this. And I have Westworld all lined up to watch tomorrow. All lined up, watching that Westworld.
So go remote. View, do, unfuck.
Go have fun.
Let's see. Go play.
See what you come up with.
I had to mute you.
Go see what there is to see.
Because there's new stuff being revealed. Well, old stuff now being revealed.
New stuff, old stuff.
Homework.
Your homework today, get yourself in a nice comfy chair, do what you need to do, go take a look, see what you see.
Well, it feels like...
Go take a look at CERN. Ah, there you go. If it hits your funny bone, come on, go take a little look at CERN tonight.
What was I going to say? Fuck. Mind what? It must have been good, whatever I was going to say. Oh,
Firmalab, yeah, Rosemary, yeah, Firmalab is another one to watch, but...
It feels like... Well, one, it feels like they're desperate, and two, it feels like it's kind of chaotic and they're scrambling. But it's almost like they are understaffed now too. Like, I don't know whether people are exiting because they know that this is not going the way we want it to, or...
I'm getting the fuck out of here before they figure it out, quick.
But it doesn't feel like there's as many. It doesn't feel like there's as many of us either, mind you. There have been days recently where the whole world just felt like the population just dropped dramatically. But it's like people are leaving their posts as well. Stuff that was guarded, should be guarded, backs are turned, posts are empty. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like they're understaffed and everyone's trying to multitask and so the more of us out there looking, watching, doing, the busier they are.
They can't watch us all at once. They can't watch us all at once. Trust me, we outnumber them at this point.
Let's create some distractions of our own.
Fuckery 101.
Hey?
Oh, let's play a game tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow, everyone take a moment. Think about this. When I wake up tomorrow morning and Unfuckers, let's see if we can't set up a couple of little, I don't know, little bits of fuckery in their system.
Yeah, I think so. I think we should start creating some distractions.
Our own distractions, yeah.
Yeah.
Just to...
Hit them where it hurts. Okay.
It's election day tomorrow.
Oh,
let's I don't know, something. I still want to see Trump's toupee fall off, but that's just silliness, I know.
Let's fuck that shit up. I mean, Hillary's tech is already glitching. We know that. We could fry that tech altogether, I suppose.
Got to be even. You can't just hit one and not the other.
I don't think he's got tech. I don't even think they've come up with a way to shut that thing up. It's just...
I don't know. We should just try and come up with something that's just ridiculous. Like, none of the microphones work. Make it so none of the microphones. Renee, your camera's on, hun. Just little things. Like I say, make it so none of their microphones work. Energetically go in and cut all the power cords. I've played that game before. That can be a lot of fun. And so just go in and cut all the power cords.
All right. So for those of you in the UU room and in LMH members, well, tomorrow LMH members has got the collective imagination call. So that is, we will come together and do a perfect doing in there, I think. And I'll let you know what we're planning. Because that's what we do.
Yeah, fix the mic so that we can hear everything they don't want us to hear. So make it like the on-off switches are reversed. So every time they click the mics off or they start talking shit.
Oh, you know how you play
on?
It's the reverse speech stuff? You know when you reverse speech, if it says the same thing backwards as it does forwards, then it's truth, right?
Yeah.
But often if it doesn't, what they're really saying gets revealed in the reverse speech. Well, the microphones are a kind of
reverse speech thing?
Yeah, they're like
it's a truth meter. It's like Jim Carrey and Liar Liar.
Yeah.
Oh, we can have fun with that. Tomorrow, yes, Jaylen, tomorrow is going to be comedy gold. We're going to focus on the comedy so hard that no one can possibly get upset because they're going to be laughing their asses off. Yeah, I like it.
Sean, your camera's on too now, darling. All right, we've actually gone over time, so
holy shit!
We will see you guys tomorrow in the UU room and in LH members and Collective Imagination for some fun. Let's flex those energetic muscles that we may or may not have used for a while. Some of you have never stopped, I know that. And you're absolute powerhouses, and I'm incredibly honoured to know you. But for the rest of us, we can all stand up together. And even if you think you can't do this stuff, even if you think you're one of these people who doesn't see or feel, start by just participating and holding the space. Start there and work your way into it.
Make it a fantasy exercise. Literally, just sit back, close your eyes, and imagine the funniest things you can about microphones as just an example. And just put it out there and fucking laugh and just imagine what it would look like if all of a sudden, like Hillary's handlers, everything they're saying in her ear all of a sudden is now coming over the loudspeaker. This kind of shit. And just imagine it. Have fun with it. Everyone has an imagination. And that's where it starts. It all starts there. So just sit back and just imagine. Just imagine the funniest shit you can think of and just imagine.
Okay. See ya.
Bye, everyone.
Bye for now.